Hello, YouTube world. I'm back with this video is a little different than I usually do. Usually, I just do gaming and streaming, but today I'm going to do a quick video of just early impressions of the new 5090 Vanguard that I have installed, and just do some little testing. Now, I am going to follow this up, I should say, as the testing and performance I'm going to show, temps will be the same, but the testing and performance I'm using one GPU to stream and to game. So basically there will be a performance hit because I do stream at 4K, but next week I do get my capture card in, and that will be a more real life example, because I'll have a separate PC streaming everything, and my dedicated gaming PC, you'll see the performance with just the gaming PC itself, sort of thing. But so far, my early impressions of the GPU itself is great. I love it. It's a beautiful GPU. But things to consider: it's not as big as I thought it would be when you get it. Like it's not as heavy either, but it is wide. And like my case there is the O11 Evo XL. And it's a big case. It's a full tower case. That, with installing the connector and everything, like it was a bit tight to get the panel back on. So that's things to consider. If you have a smaller case, you might have to consider a different GPU or vertical mounting. If you vertical mount it, you won't have an issue. But that's something to consider. Like for me, it works. It's fine. But Lee and Lee, and I mentioned this in a previous video, Lee and Lee are releasing an updated vertical GPU mount here in a couple of months, I believe. And it will support PCIe Gen 5. Whenever that comes out, I am going to buy it and install it in my O11 Evo XL and then vertical mount my GPU. But I think that is to consider. Like, let me see if I can. Actually, I don't know if I can do that. I was going to grab my camera and kind of show you. But let me see if I can. This might work or may not. Just give me a second. Okay. So you can see here, if I go to the side, you see that it's pretty tight. And this is an O11 Evo XL. So, yeah, it's something to consider, but you can see here at the bottom, I don't know if I can bring this up, there is RGB there too on the fans. I'm just going to put this back, and then we'll do some benchmarking. Okay, 1 second here now. There we go. Okay. So yeah, that's definitely something to consider. 1 second here. Good enough for now. Yeah, so that's definitely something to consider if you're planning on getting this, is the actual the depth of it. I think that's what they call it. I call it the width, but basically what do they call it? I just had that up. 1 second here now. History. No. Planning on getting this is, sorry. This will just be a sec. The width, yeah, they call it the width. So yeah, something to consider is the width of the GPU. But if you're vertical mounting, you'll have no issue. Now, I'm working night shifts right now, so I haven't really had a chance to really game on it and stuff like that. It does use a lot of power, and I did some preliminary testing, and For purposes here today, I'm going to do 100%, no limit. But I did test certain scenarios out where I just went full 100% and then went 85% of the power target. Not undervolting. I am going to do some testing with undervolting too, but I'm just not there yet. But even when I limit the card at 85%, I notice a reduction of almost like, I'd say a good 70 to 100 watts. And I can't notice any performance hit. Like, I'll have a scene up. Now, if you do a 3D mark test, you'll notice you'll see the numbers change. But like real time performance, like gaming, like I had stock or two up, I'd have a scene up, full 100% power, and I'd get a certain frame rate. Then I would move to 85%, and I'd see the drop in power usage, but my FPS would be the same. I just gotta fix something here. That camera's driving me nuts. There we go. That's good enough. All right, so what we'll do here is I was trying to look on MSI Afterburner for looking at your on-screen display, your values. I couldn't get the memory temperature up, and I've been looking and looking. If anyone knows how, and Rivia Tuner for MSI Afterburner for the monitoring, is there a way that you can bring up the memory temp? But I do have HW Monitor, which I will bring up. I'm going to try to bring up, and I do have GPU-Z so that we can look at memory temps that way. But the card is cool. I will say that. I couldn't believe it. Like when I was gaming and that, I think I was like testing Cyberpunk and that, like I think the card was like low 60s. And I mean, memory temp, I think the highest I've seen the memory temp go was like 68, 70. So the card is not even hitting 70 degrees. 1 second there now. But as you can see here, I'm just going to change the scene here now. And you still got me. And as you can see here, which screen do I got? Okay, I got it up here. Hopefully you can see this well. As you can see here, it's these are the specs. It's a 5090. I have all my ROPs because I do believe that there's a batches out there that are missing 8 ROPs, but I do have that. Now, I forgot to mention, when I first fired up the GPU, I was getting screen flickering for both screens, and I read online a lot of people were experiencing this, especially with OLEDs, and both of my screens are OLEDs. One's a QD OLED, and the other is just a regular LG OLED. And I used an NVIDIA cleanup tool, which is like DDU, basically to wipe the drivers, and I tried to reinstall the latest driver and the previous driver. The latest driver, I was getting the flickering. The previous driver, a lot less. And then I reached out to NVIDIA online, and they had a hotfix driver for me. And I installed that hotfix driver, and so far, so good, knock on wood, I don't have any flickering. So it's driver related for sure. So, so what we'll do here is I'm going to... We'll have tech power up here. We'll have the GPU temp here and the memory temp here. And this will record it. And then also I will have my HW monitor up, and this records your max values as well. So you see here with the GPU temp and the memory temp. We'll see the peak temps as well as the power targets here. Now, personally, once I've finished my night shifts, because I'm on work, I'm back to work here now doing night shifts, and work last night and have to work next few nights. But once I get some time off work to play with the card, I am going to basically I'm going to limit the power of the GPU. I'm just going to set a power target of 85%, or I'm going to undervolt. I'm probably going to do undervolting because undervolting is not really, it's limiting power, but it's not like just, it's not really reducing, I don't think it is, the core voltage. It's basically you're trying to get the same performance, but limiting the core voltage, which is you usually get a better bang for your buck, so to speak. But okay, so the first thing we'll do is we'll run a 3D mark. And So what you're going to see here, especially with the NVIDIA values and MSI Afterburner values, you'll see the core temperature, but you won't see the... I should show you this too. So you can see here too, I have MSI up. Everything's at 100%. There's no power limit or anything like that. And no overclocking. And if I go to the NVIDIA app, if you can see it says the driver. It wants me to update the driver, but I'm on a hotfix driver now because of that flickering. You can see here that everything is set at default. So I'll just leave that down. And I will minimize this. Okay. Now I just want to see if I could... It'd be cool if I could bring this over on top. Okay. More benchmarks. We'll do a time spy right here. One other thing I noticed too is... my CPU, like when I'm gaming with my 9800 X3D, it used to use like 70 watts gaming, but I'm noticing with the 5090, the CPU is using more power. Like I'm using like 90 to 100 now because the 5090 can drive more frames, so the CPU is working harder. But people say that you really notice a performance difference of around 30% with the 5090. For me, it's higher, and it's much higher. And I don't know why, but like I have a 4090 Founders, just the Founders, and that's probably maybe one of the reasons. This card I got now, obviously, is an overclock card and all of that stuff. But when I was testing briefly Stalker 2, scenes where I'm getting like 80 or 90 frames, I'm getting like 120 plus in Stalker 2. So I'm noticing a huge uplift of like 40% to 50% sometimes. But that could be case specific type of thing. But anyways, I'm going to try to open up Time Spy and see if I can just bring this over here. Okay, right here at the bottom. So we only care about, do you want to see all the other stuff? No, we just care about the temperature and power. And I'll bring this up to, I'll just leave this and let's see how this goes. Okay, just go like that. And you'll have your MSI values here and your NVIDIA values there. And I think that's everything, right? Am I missing anything? No. So we'll let this bad boy run. You'll see when it does the test too, it'll say unapproved driver. That's because I got this driver directly from NVIDIA. I don't know, I might have to restart this. Yeah. Sometimes it does that, like the first time I start, because it gets confused with the windows. Okay, that's okay. Let's just get out of this. Get out of that. Let's try it again. Give it a sec. Okay, let's try it again. If it sometimes like it needs to start in like the maximum window. Maybe it don't. I don't know. But I've had issues before when it's done that. Okay, let's go more. Let's go Time Spy. Run it. If the recordings go away for the memory temp, I'll show it after because I don't want to mess it up once it starts up. I scored pretty good. I only done the one 3D Mark test before I had to go into work yesterday, and I scored pretty high. It was I was blown away. There we go. Now, can I? No, I don't want to fuck with it. I'm just going to leave it. We'll have the values up there, and my MSI values will pop back up. The memory temp, I can see it here now on my other screen. I'll let you know what it peaks at. You see the GPU there, like sometimes it peaks above like 2900 megahertz too. It's crazy. Memory temp now is 54 degrees. And again, the performance on this test should be reduced from yesterday because I'm streaming. Next week, when I get my capture card set up, you'll be able to see a true test. But I will show you the test from yesterday when I wasn't streaming, which is 100% the GPU. And believe it or not, I never mentioned noise. She's pretty quiet too. Like I'm running it, there's in the performance mode or the gaming mode, not the silent. And yeah, like I don't, she's quiet. So this test is saturating the GPU. So we're at 56 degrees, not even hitting 60 degrees. The memory temp now is 62. The fans are at 1400 RPM. So that's, it's not too bad. It's barely audible. Lots of power, though. You can see I'm starting to hit up to 500. Okay. I think just a ray tracing test. So memory temp is at 62 right now. And the GPU finally hit 60 degrees. That's amazing, though. Like, for an air-cooled card like this, it's incredible. Like, amazing temperature. And with respect to performance and just the noise levels. Incredible. Yeah, when I was running this test with a 4090, my 9800 X3D would peak at 70 watts, but now with the 5090, it peaks at like I think it peaks at around 100. Memory temp 68, but still not hitting 70. The Founders card 5090, it like hovers around 94 degrees. She's cooking, man. She's hot, that Founders. This is the last test, the CPU test. And I do have an undervolt on the CPU of minus 30 all core. Oh, I didn't do as good. This is my... I wonder if streaming has something to do with it. I'll do another test. But I'll show you my test when I wasn't streaming. I bet you it has something to do with it. So if I go to compare results online... I'll bring this over. My results. So this is my test from yesterday. And I will follow up next week when I get my capture card too. But I bet you I'll do another test to see how it compares. But if it's lower, I know it's because I'm streaming. And I'm streaming using the AVI encoding, and I'm doing it at 4K. So it is a bit of a burden. But you can see here... the graphics score yesterday was 48,000, 14,000, 0.6 was the CPU, and peak temperature 63 degrees, peak temperature, or average temperature, sorry. Average temp 63 for the GPU, and the CPU 53. And if I go to my results, details, yeah. I wonder if that is streaming. That's crazy how much of an impact it has. Okay, let's just try one more test. And run again. Let's try one more. I bet you it's going to be the same. I bet, because streaming, like a lot of people say, oh, the new NVIDIA graphics cards, they have dedicated chips for streaming, so there's no impact to PC performance. Unless I'm messing up a setting, because I do notice an impact. And they recommend to use AVI encoding, the NVENC AVI encoding and all of that. But I noticed 15-20% hit. So that's why I'm going through. That's why I bought a capture card. I bought the 4KX capture card, so I can try to do a dual PC setup and have no performance hit. And again, the PC, like I said, it's... I'm going to just turn this down a bit. Oh, I don't got my speakers. The PC itself is very quiet. Like, I don't know if the sound of the PC can come through to you guys, but it's barely audible. And I mean, luckily, I don't have any coil one. I know a lot of times that's luck of the draw, but yeah, she's quiet, man. I hardly hear her. I'll just mute it again. I'll mute it on the next test when the next test is when the GPU is at like 100%. Look at the speeds. It's like I just seen 2950. I almost hitting 3,000. I think at one time I did hit 3,000 for me. But I'll just leave this off so you can try to hear. But yeah, I do notice a performance hit with streaming. Definitely. It's going to be... I'm really looking forward to getting my dual PC set up going. The only thing I'm a little bit Not like a little bit hesitant about, or like I'm trying to figure out is the audio. That's the hardest part of it, is the audio. And I heard the easiest thing I can do is just take my mic and my camera and hook it up to my streaming PC. The camera's not a big deal because my streaming PC is just right there, like right on my left. But the mic, I have to move over here. Or like I have a new monitor too coming at the end of the month. This monitor is an LG C2. It doesn't have like USB upstream and downstream connections, but this new monitor does. So I can take this mic, leave it on my right side, and hook it there to hook to my streaming PC. But there's another device. What's going on here? Oh, here we go. So I'm going to shut up now so you can see if you can hear. So the GPU's at 100%, almost 500 watts. And I can hardly hear it. Fans are at 1400, 1408, 1410 RPM. So very, very, very good. Yeah, she's quiet. Put that volume back on now. Actually, I'll leave it off. The GPU memory temp is at 66. Yeah, she's quiet, man. When I was looking at Tech Power Up's 5090 AIB reviews, and the Supreme from MSI scored rated the best for performance, for temps and noise levels. And I'm almost sure that the Supreme, like when I go and look at the Supreme and Vanguard on the MSI website, I think that I'm almost sure they have the same cooler, and you can easily tell, because like based on what Tech Power Up's analysis of that card, it's the Vanguard, from what I'm seeing now, I'm no expert, is pretty similar. Like cost wise, they're pretty similar. If you go on their website and you see, like if you have the Vanguard, the MSI, the Supreme next to the Vanguard, point for point, it's the same thing with what they're listing for specs. GPU temp is 60. The VRAM temp, memory temp, 66. The fans are ramping up a little bit now. They're at 1500, but still, like it doesn't sound bad at all. Like if you put the volume back on of the system of the test. Oh no. Oh no, it's not working. I don't want to fuck with it. We're at the last test anyways. But it's very, very good. Very good. I think the Founders card regularly has the memory temps at like 90 plus degrees with those fans fucking sounding like a jet engine. I usually go for the Founders card, but not this gen, man. That Founders card is hot trash. It's a good card, but well, I don't think it's a good card. I think long-term use of, it's definitely 100%. It's a bit better performance, but streaming definitely has an impact because, again, like usually I was around that blue line without streaming. So, but I will follow up next week when I get my capture card set up with that. But as you can see, like I'll just show you this again. My results. Where is my results? Oh, here we go. You can see here, this is the test. This is my 4090 test. These are right here with the 9800X3D. And this is my first, and you can see yesterday. It was yesterday? Yeah. Yesterday before I had to go into work, I did this test. But you can see the difference here of, like, if I look here, I have a graphics score of 40,000, where you can see when I wasn't streaming, my graphics score is 48,000. But by comparison, my 4090 I'll use a high one. Was 35,000. So like 13 to 15,000 extra points from a 49 to 5090. But we'll leave it at that for 3D Mark. The next thing we'll look at is my sound is all messed up. Let me just see something here. So here you can see this. So this is the HW monitor. It just gives you your value. So you can see here, during those 2 sets of tests, I had a peak memory temperature, of 68 degrees, not even hitting 70. And the GPU temp, not even hitting mid-60s. That's fucking crazy for an air-cooled card. Like, that's incredible. This isn't water-cooled. This is air-cooled. Amazing. Okay. What do I have to do? Oh, yeah, I got to fix my sound. Second it out. Oh, that's why. Let me just... is the actual... Okay, she's working. All right, so I do a quick few tests. This is going to be I'm going to wrap it up here soon, but I got Stalker 2, Cyberpunk, and what else? I always have Cyberpunk on my PC for testing, and I got IEC Shadows, but I don't want to get involved with that yet because I haven't touched that game yet, and I am going to do a full playthrough on my channel for that. But what I'll do is I'll look at Star Wars Outlaws. I'll fire that up, and I did finish this game in the DLC, so we'll test that out too because I know that's a heavy game. But let's start off with Cyberpunk. I'll do Cyberpunk, then I'll do Outlaws, and then I'll do Stalker. The reason why I'm doing Stalker last, because sometimes that game's not friendly and crashes. It's a beautiful game. I love it. But sometimes it crashes on me. Okay, so let's... away. So we'll go to settings. We're at... it keeps changing it. I gotta fix that setting. NVIDIA keeps changing my settings. How do I fix that? Game is optimized. Update. It's because of that. Is there any way you can turn off? Like, I don't mind them recommending settings, but I don't like when they change the settings. But what I could do here, I haven't tested, so hopefully it doesn't crash. Some games it does, but actually I have to do it before I start the game. Okay, no big deal. I was wondering with the latest DLSS stuff, but this game already has the transformer model, so... Okay, we'll go to video, change this to borderless. Oh. Apply. Oh, no, no. Here we go. All right, graphics. We're going to play... we're going to go DLAA. Frame gen off. Okay, no. Frame gen on. So I have to restart the game. But we'll just do 2x. Well, did that take effect? Can you take a look? Okay, we'll just say DLAA, which is like native, but with frame jump. And we'll try to 2, 3, 4. And let me just turn the sound down a bit. And as you can see here, again, I'm 4K, DLSS, set the DLAA, frame gen on, ×2, path tracing on, all settings maxed out, except fill grain, chromic aberration depth, and depth of field off, and everything else maxed out. Another thing that I hate when professional YouTubers do this stuff, they go, well, maxed out settings, and they go right fast. Guys, slow it down a bit. Like, go slow so people can see. So you can see here. Okay, let's go into it.
Hello. I'm Arif Iqbal, and you're watching WNS News. New details have emerged on the attempted abduction of Hanako Arasaka.
So yeah, we're pushing. Definitely pushing here, 550 watts. 60 frames. That'd be like 30 without frame gen, which is pretty good for full path tracing. With my 4090 with frame gen and DLSS set to quality, I was getting like 60, like 70 frames. Well, we'll just peek a bit. I'm at 65 degrees. My memory temp was peaked at 68. Right now it's at 68. So we'll just give it a couple of minutes. I'm just going to mute it here. This is the noise of the PC. I don't know what's coming through, but maybe if I move my... But as you have to just take my word, it's not very audible at all. Like, it's actually quieter than what my 4090 Founders is. So it's not very audible at all. Like, you can hear it, but it doesn't, like, it's not aggressive or anything like that. The fans are going at 6. One second now. Fans are at 1600 RPM. So very manageable. Okay, I'm going to put the sound back on. All right. So I'm going to try... Let's just try the 4X. I don't think there's a point to doing 3X. So I'll go 3X.
What are you doing?
It feels okay, actually. Me personally, I don't know if I'll play with 4X frame gen. Usually 2X is good enough for me. And DLSS set to quality. And what's memory temps at now? So the GPU did hit 70, and the memory's at 74, but not too bad. That's not bad at all. Okay, now let's just try DLSS set to quality. And go back to 2. And again, there's a performance hit as well. Like, I was testing this out briefly yesterday. And what was I getting? I think I was getting like... My 4090, I was getting like 70 to 80. And I think on this, I was getting like 110. Yeah. 100. Yeah, that makes sense. 110 to 120, I think I was getting. And usually it's a 15% hit for streaming. So yeah. This is the way I would probably play it, though. Like, especially with the transformer model, DLSS set to quality, or even balance. Balance DLSS looks great too. And frame gen at 2X. But yeah, we're at, how much power did we peak at? Power-wise, GPU, like I see, that's another thing. There's some of the GPUs, like the Astral, like the very expensive Astral, that peaks sometimes of over 600 watts, and even the Founders. But I haven't seen that yet with this GPU. I've seen it peak at 560 or 570. Sorry. Right now the peak is not now, but right at the peak voltage that HW monitor recorded was 558. It's still high. But I want to show you something. So, say this is the performance here now, 107 frames. So if I go like this and bring up MSI and go 85, Let's limit the GPU to 85%. And then go apply. All right. I forgot. Sorry, shit. Let me first do this. Bring this up. Reset. Okay. So just give it a second. So we're at 530 watts at 100, say 530 at 107, 105. Okay. So if I go to MSI here now, and if I go 85%, so the power limit, I'm going to limit the card at 85%. And if I go apply, now, so I just took off 50 watts and there's no performance reduction. Very minimal, 1 or 2 frames. But you can see there, that's the way I'm going to run this card personally. I'd like to see at max be below 500 watts. And to me, that's, you know, that's the best way to run it now is to basically limit it or do an undervolt. I think undervolting would be the better solution, but I need time to test that. But the performance reduction here is very minimal. So let's go back because we don't care about that. We're trying to max power, max temps to see what this card runs at. So I'll reset it. Again, it's reset. That button right there, reset. And now the GPU is at default. Okay, so I think that's good for this. Again, I'll just drive around a little bit and we can... This game is so incredible looking though. Like it really is, man. Especially with that new DLSS transformer model. Like, Jesus, man, it looks fucking real life. Just get on this and do a little spin around. Yeah, usually I'd be over 110 frames though. But Jesus. Can I get on here? Can you pick it up? No? Well, that was a success, wasn't it? Let's order that thing again. Okay, no, she's still there. Oh, no. Yeah. This is probably one of the best games I've ever played, is Cyberpunk. I have to do a second playthrough. I haven't did the DLC yet. I did buy it, but Max, I have to do a second playthrough, and I bought the DLC, and I'm going to do a full second playthrough, and I'm going to play as female V for the second playthrough. Like, look at that ray tracing, man. Like, fuck, this game is so incredible looking. But yeah, you can see it's not too bad. DLSS set the quality, frame gen at 2x. Very, very nice experience. You can hardly feel any latency or anything. Another test we could look at before I close the game down. This game down. You can see the latency there, 40 with the NVIDIA on-screen stuff there on the top right. You can see they're at 40. Let's put the game back into 4x and see if yeah, there's not much difference in latency. There really isn't. And to be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I was really hesitant about multi-frame gen, and I don't think personally I'll use 2x frame gen. Cause I don't, but I mean, I don't notice a difference for this game anyways, between 2x and 4x. I really don't. Like, she seems very responsive to me. Yeah. But, yeah, we'll leave it at that. So for this game here, we had a peak temperature of GPU, and the GPU is pretty much at peaking at 560 watts. GPU temps maxed at 70 degrees, so just 70. That's incredible. And memory temp 74, so 4-degree difference. So that cooler is doing a damn good job. Okay, so we'll quit this game and we'll leave it at that. Next game I will try is Star Wars Outlaws. I haven't played this in a while because I finished it there a couple of months ago, but I haven't looked at it since. I like Star Wars Outlaws. It's Ubisoft get a lot of hate. They really do. And I mean, I love their games. Yes, there's there's a couple of things, but like Avatar, I played Avatar 2 not a while back, but I'd say 6 months to a year ago maybe. And that game was wicked too. I liked it. I should have. That's the game I should have downloaded instead of Outlaws. I should have downloaded Avatar because Avatar is more demanding. I forgot. I didn't realize that, but Star Wars Outlaws is demanding too. And while that's doing that, I'll show you here that I'm not just saying numbers out of my ass. So you can see here, HW monitor. This is the value, min, max. Value meaning this is what it is right now, the minimum, the maximum. And you can see here the GPU peaked at 70, memory at 74, and the power at 560, say. Failed to synchronize data. Try again. Try again. I know what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to close out of this, open it back up and sign in. Sometimes I have a gaming laptop too, and that I use for work to bring it in for my night shifts, so sometimes there's issues. Let's skip it. Fuck it. I just want to get into the open world, and just trying to remember what part. I think the first section of the game. Now, last time I played this game, I'm not sure if they still have this issue, but this game definitely had a memory leak, and I played this on a 4090, and the game is overall smooth though. Like, there's not much bugs and stuff when I played it. And my only criticism of the game was K should be allowed, like the game rewards you with suits and stuff like that and skins, I'll say, but they should have changed that approach a bit. They should have had K being able to have more weapons than are pistol and permanent weapons, and rewards for doing certain stuff in the game should be certain type of weapons. I think if they had to do that, it would have changed the game a bit for the better. But overall, this game, I had a fantastic experience with it. I loved it. It was such a great game. But the only issue with bugs was memory leak. There were times, especially in that first open world area, that was it Tushera or whatever, that basically the memory leak would get out of control, and I'd have to restart the game because like the VRAM usage, I would be like up at like 20 gigs. And then the performance would start to decline. Okay, so it's been a while, so bear with me. So video, we are at borderless 4K. That's the monitor refresh rate. I'm playing on my C2. We're at NVIDIA DLSS. We're going to put this at DLAA and upscaler fixed. This here fixed, that is basically, for me it's always fixed. There's no difference, because I'm playing at 4K, there's no difference between fixed and bias. I have a gaming laptop that's 2560 by 1600, and bias would work there. That basically it tries to upscale to a 4K output, but for this I can just leave it at fixed. Well, how do I turn frame gen off? Frame gen off. Do I have to restart the game? No? Okay. And we'll go settings. We got Ultra. Now, I will tell you, I'll put it on, but this NVIDIA RTX Direct Lighting is a bunch of shit. Basically, it's very, very demanding, and I don't see any visual difference. Like when I was playing on my 4090, it was like a 40% hit on the GPU, And I don't notice any visual difference, but I will show you that once we get into the game. And everything is set to maximum. Ray tracing, everything set to maximum. So we'll see. Hopefully there's no issues, because I haven't played this game in a while. And look, you can see here already, I'm at 500. Like, this game uses a lot of fucking power, man. Well, I didn't even notice that. So, peak temperatures here now for the GPU and CPU is 74, and the GPU power peaked at 574 watts. So this game is more power hungry than Cyberpunk. So this is a great game to test. So this is no upscaling, and I'm at 50. Can I think it crashed. Yeah, thank you. I want to see if I can go to Toshira. It's been a while. Is it here? This one would be good too. But let's try it. It's not Toshira. Which one is it? It's been a while. On low when I look at it. It's that first open world area. No, it's not this. This is the last open world area. Jeez, where was that to again? This is the DLC. I did complete the DLC. It was great. Okay, let's just go start from the top. Maybe it's... I don't think it's... That's the frozen world, isn't it? No, that's the second open world. Kijimi. I don't think it's here. Let me just check it out. No, that's the frozen world. Yeah. Okay. And maybe it is this guy. Yes, it is. Okay. I can't fast travel there? Why? How do I do it here? Can I load to a different load? Let me see if I can load. So that was March 20. It didn't save when I finished the DLC. That's weird because of that sync problem. Let me just see something. Let me see. Load. Let's go. Upload from the cloud. So after I finished the DLC, I did go into the upload successful. Okay. Here we go. Yeah. So it was the cloud. This game is power hungry though, man. What are temps at now? Ooh. So GPU is... Okay, so 45. That's really good though. For this. Before I would be hitting on my 4090, I was like 30 or not even 30, I don't think. Let's try putting on DLSS, set that to quality. And let's see. Wow, what a difference. Right back up to 70. So before when I was playing this with a 4090, in order to hit that 70 to 80, I'd have to be using frame gen and DLSS quality. But gee, we're definitely getting hotter temps now, but we're max, like the game's running well over 500 watts all the time. So peak temps here, we're at GPU is 74 degrees, memory 76, which still, that's great. That's fantastic that you're not hitting 80 degrees. And the fans are at 1700, which is a bit more audible, but not that bad actually. Like I I can barely hear them with the game sound. If I mute, yeah, that's actually not too bad. Now, I want to try a frame gen test. No. Let's put, frame gen on. Just go 2x and see what we're at. There you go. Wow. Yeah, when I was playing on my I think the game still has a memory leak though. You can see up here, not how you can tell if this game, I forget now, it's been a while. But when you go and adjust your graphics here, you see here, they're saying that you need 15.5. Right now, the game is running at 20 gigs of VRAM. So the memory leak is still there. And you can definitely tell too, because sometimes this bar in the menu will start glitching and it'll start like changing the values where it'd be like 15.4 and then go back and it keeps like going back and forth. And but it's because of the memory leak. And I still think it has it, but much better performance.
Feel like going for a ride?
Yeah, I used to be like 70 or 80, I think. I'll have to look on my stream because I played a lot of this game. I streamed a lot of this game, and basically, yeah, I think I was around like 80. So the same settings. Jesus, this game looks incredible though. Guys, if you haven't played this game, trust me, it's an amazing game to play, especially on PC, playing it maxed out. And I will say that DLSS transformer model, it's a game changer, man. Even okay, let me just try one thing. I want to try 4x frame gen and see if I can feel the difference in this game. And we're at 40, about 40. Where is frame gen? Do I keep messing that up? Graphics. I was going to show you this too. But if I show you this, 110. So you can see the performance hit. But visually, I don't notice any difference. Like, I honestly don't. Like, I'm looking at this. Looks great. Let's turn that off. Yeah, I don't notice much of a difference with it. Where is frame gen? Maybe in video? Yeah. So we'll go to 4x. Keep. And yeah. Yeah, I don't honestly, this is the first time I've played around with the multi-frame gen. I'm not sold on it yet. How do I get off my bike again? Oh, R. Yeah. I forget how to play this game. How do I switch weapon? Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah, I don't feel any difference between the 2x to 4x. And even the latency. The latency is weird to me. NVIDIA are reporting that the latency is the same. Which, how is that? But it feels the same. But like I said, most times, like if I was playing this game, I would be saying, okay, how do I get to like my monitor's refresh rate? And I'd be like, okay, so 2x, I can get if I can get 60 and above, and my sweet spot is 90. If I can get around at 90 frames, I don't need to push it anymore for me personally on any game. So for this, it feels good. I will say that. But 2x would be fine enough for me. But, yeah, so, again, the GPU is at 70, peaked at 70. Or it's at 70 now. But we'll end that here for this. Was there anything else I was going to do with this game? I think that was it. So we'll exit this game. Oh, I was gonna shit. Let me fire it up one more time. I was gonna try one more thing. I knew I was forgetting something. Cloud save March 21st at 12, February 9th, 2025. Let's do this guy. This might fuck things up. And then I have to stop here soon because I got to start getting ready for work. You know, there's people saying that there was a concern of pushing out 500 watts. You're gonna feel that? So far, I haven't. Like I'm just. So far, it doesn't feel like a heater, but I'm sure in the summer it will. All right, come on. The one thing I want to show you is, in this game as well, is the whole power limit, limiting the GPU at 85% and watching the performance hit. Resume. Like even on the this game, like even on the menu, it's pushing 520 watts. Okay, so let's just look at here at this again. We're at MSI. Everything's default. Reset. Everything's at default. And what are we playing at? We're 4K. Let's just go 2x. Apply. And DLSS set to quality. We'll leave it at that. That's usually my go-to setting anyways, personally. I always try to play games with DLSS set to quality and NVIDIA Frame Gen 2X with my 4090. And for the most part, like, Frame Gen gets a lot of criticism, and it rightfully so. But I'm like, if you said, and I've had a 4090 since launch, and I've played a lot of my games. Most of them I played with Frame Gen. If you said to me, like, how'd you rate it? I'd rate it like a 9 or a 10 out of 10. But if you said, how was your overall experience? Have you ran into issues? Yes, I have with some games. But I'd say at least 80% of the games that I've played with Frame Gen work well. And that's saying something. All right, so you can see here we're max 530 watts, which is bad in my opinion. But it's not terrible. Like I've seen other, like the Founders and the Astral are going at 570, 580 watts. But I've just seen 550, but it's still, but watch this now. Okay, so we're at, let's say 550, it went to 530 to 550 at let's say 115 to 120. So I'm just gonna go like this. Did I shut down MSI? Fuck. Okay, let's just do it again. So 530, 115, we'll say. 540, 115. Let's go, boom, 85%. Let's go apply. Now. So, yeah. So say 490, 5, 10, 20, 30. So we shaved 40 watts. And we have a performance hit of about 2 to 3 FPS. Let's just play with this. So this game is the most demanding game yet I've seen on the 5090. So it peaked at 576 watts. Let's just play around with this and see what it peaks at. Let's, how do I get my bike again?
Ready to go?
So I've seen it peak at 498, but I haven't seen it go above 5. And to me, that's what I feel comfortable running this card at. Is just below 500. I'm sure I'm running at 570. For the most part, would be okay. If you like I'm using the. I hope I'd be okay. I'm using an ATX 3.1 PSU with a 12 volt 2 Type 6 connector. Everything's firmly connected. So yeah, like limiting the card at 0.85%, hardly any performance hit. Gotta get off the back. So look, we're at, let's say 490. We'll say 490, 123. No. Let's reset. So we go up 50 watts. And we only increase performance by 2 or 3 FPS. That's so minimal. Let's go MSI. 1. Apply. Yeah. Yeah, it's so worth it, man. Limited, if you get a 5090, 40 or a 5080 and all that, doesn't matter because those cards run really well. You can overclock them and they're not like power hungry like the 90 series. But if you get a 90 series, limit that bad boy to like 80% to 85% because you're using a lot less power and you're pretty much nothing in a performance hit. It's negligible. Okay. I think that's it, though. We'll leave it at that. We'll end that game here. So exit the desktop. Yes. And I'll just show you right here. So you can see here, where am I? Yeah, 5090. You can see here we had a peak temperature of 74 degrees on the GPU, 76 on the memory. And this hotspot is a glitch. It did that with my 4092. It always reads out the same number, 255. I would don't be concerned with that. That's just I don't know what it is actually, but it's nothing to. It's not. That's not a real thing. And the GPU power peaked at 576 watts. So pretty much that's overall my with the card. Yes, the performance you see now, there's definitely a hit because I'm streaming. And I can tell you that right now from the 3D Mark, from looking at the values and stuff. There's well, I don't know with Star Wars Alex. I haven't tested that without streaming, but Stalker 2 I did. And Cyberpunk I did. I haven't did Stalker 2, but I don't think I'm going to because we just wanted to see the max power and temps. But overall, temperature-wise, that's phenomenal. So you're talking about like the Founders card, for example, the 5090. It does a great car. It does a great job. Like usually it hovers around the mid to low 70s, but the memory temp is always at like 94, 95 degrees. This card, this cooler, yes, it's a lot bigger. We're only talking of a peak difference here of 2 degrees. 2 degrees. So the card peaked at 74. This peaked at 76. That is phenomenal. That is phenomenal performance. And fan speeds, it peaked at 1750, but usually I'd run around 13 to 1500, and it's not that audible. I haven't like playing the game. I don't notice it. And even on mute, I wasn't even noticing it. Like you can hear it, you hear your GPU fans going, but it's not like aggressive. So I would definitely give it a good rating on that. Overall, I'd say the card is an amazing card, man. It's expensive, yeah, I know, but when comparing to the other models that I've seen online and stuff like that, and Tech Power Up, I think when Tech Power Up gets this and does a professional review, you're going to see some good numbers from them. You're going to see this, I would think, compared to the Supreme, and the Supreme was like one of the best rated ones. And like I said, if you look here, if I just go like this, MSI 59E Vanguard, and if I go MSI 59E Supreme, if you go here to specs, or even if I go overview, I'm not sure if they do it now, but you can see here, once I start going through the specs. Oh, here we go. That's where we look. So this is the Supreme. This is the Vanguard. Point for point, they're the same, except for the speeds are a little tiny different. Superior hypercooling system. Superior hyper frozen thermal design. Storm face fans. They have the same thing. Oh, I'm on the wrong fucking one. No wonder. I was like, what the fuck? They're not the same. Is it this one? Yeah. Sorry. My bad. Here we go. So yeah. So hyper the Frozer or whatever the hell that is. Thermal design. Storm force fan. Advanced vapor chamber. Everything is pretty much the same. I'm pretty sure they're almost identical coolers. Because again, from when I looked at the Tech Power Up results and I compare it to what I'm seeing here now, I've seen similar things. But wait for those professionals to verify that. But that's it. We'll leave it at that. That is my impressions of the 5090 Vanguard. She's expensive, but it works well. The cooler is amazing. The noise levels are amazing. Yeah, I have no complaints other than the price, but that's the world we live in today with GPU prices. Thanks for watching. If you decide to watch, and hit that like button. Have yourself a good day, and hopefully you found this information somewhat helpful. Thank you. Bye.